to dogs since 2021. It was responsible for nearly 50% of all attacks on both humans and other dogs. In July of this year, in 1 week in July of this year, one dog a day was killed by an American bully. They are a uniquely dangerous breed of dog.
Many of the front pages this morning focus on the American XL bully dog and the promise from the Prime Minister that they will be banned in the UK by the end of the year. Rishi Sunak's asked ministers to work with experts to define the breed with a view to outlawing it. It would be the first breed to be banned since 1991. The announcement comes after 52-year-old Ian Price was mauled to death seemingly by two of the dogs in Staffordshire on Thursday, but there has been growing concern in recent times. Dr. Lawrence Newport is a legal academic and has been a key figure in the campaign to have this breed banned. Dr. Newport, good morning.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
It's good to speak to you. First of all then, just your reaction to Rishi Sunak's announcement that these dogs will be, or this breed of dog will be banned by the end of this year.
The data on this has been strong for a very long time. It is unfortunate that it has taken this long. We have tried through our campaign to ensure really that there were going to be no more fatalities. I really wanted to reduce that as much as possible, but there is obviously because of this fatality, it seems the government has now decided to act decisively, finally, to ban this uniquely dangerous breed.
When we say that, Lawrence, one of the concerns here is about what this breed actually is. There seems to be some consternation that an American XL bully is a mix of breeds, is difficult to define. Would you share that concern?
No. So the American bully is founded on the American Pit Bull Terrier. It was essentially started in the late 80s and early 90s by breeding fighting American Pit Bull Terriers. These are dogs that have one-on-one fight to the deaths with other dogs, and they were then bred together. The claim was that they were then mixed with other kind of large dog breeds like Mastiffs, etc. What research from Bullywatch has shown is that actually, if you trace their pedigrees, these dogs are just highly inbred fighting pit bulls. Indeed, a recent investigative work with Bullywatch and The Telegraph showed that 50% of all American bullies in the country, or breeding American bullies in the country, are linked to one single dog known as Killer Kimbo, who is linked to multiple deaths. Certainly his offspring are linked to multiple deaths. And Killer Kimbo is so inbred, he has the same great-grandfather 4 times over.
Gosh, right, okay. So in terms of the sort of genetics and DNA, there's a picture there of how these work. So then we come to, I suppose, the logistics of what a ban actually means. What do you interpret a ban to mean? What do you want it to be?
Well, it seems to be a ban gives the government a range of options, and what they seem to be going for here is that all dogs currently owned would be, there is a period up to 2025, it seems, where they will ask people to register those dogs. Those dogs will then be muzzled and leashed in public and will need to be neutered. It would also, I believe, ban the sale and transfer of ownership of those dogs. So if you own that dog, you must now keep it. You can't now sell it or gift it away or anything like that. And it must be muzzled and on leash in public and neutered.
And does that feel right to you? Are those the measures that you envisaged when you've been campaigning for this ban?
I think those measures are fair. I think that this is essentially what the powers of the DDA allow you to do. And that's what I certainly expected the government, if they were going to ban it, to do something like this. So, yes, I would say so.
Okay. In terms of the response to this then, you'll be aware of the Dog Control Coalition, which includes the RSPCA, Battersea Dogs Home, the Royal Kennel Club. They've questioned this decision. They say the Dangerous Dogs Act coincides with an increase in dog bites. Recent deaths show that the approach doesn't work. The government must tackle unscrupulous breeders who are putting profit before welfare. I suppose, Lawrence, it's a well-run argument, isn't it, about whether this will be effective, but the Dog Control Coalition seems to think it will not be. A ban is a bad idea.
Well, there's a couple of responses to this. The first is that this dog breed is responsible for over 70% of all deaths to dogs since 2021. It is responsible for nearly 50% of all attacks on both humans and other dogs. In July of this year, in 1 week in July of this year, one dog a day was killed by an American bully. They are a uniquely dangerous breed of dog. But we actually know that bans work because we've had one in place on pit bulls since 1991. That ban has been very successful, and we know that because, for example, in the UK, we have half the per capita deaths to dogs that the US does, and the difference is entirely explained by pit bulls. Pit bulls in the US are around about 60% of all deaths to dogs. We don't have that here, in large part because of the ban. And indeed, the recent rise of the American Bully is a natural experiment in what happens if you relax a ban. They are, after all, a pit bull type. And in around about 2015, they were allowed through a couple of court cases. They were seen as a quote unquote different breed and were then allowed into the country. And of course, by 2018, many are imported. And now we have found, to our great cost, what that means. Deaths and attacks skyrocket. Bans work.
Do you feel like your work here is done?
It's not done until they have actually implemented this and that the ban is clearly working. So not yet.
Interesting. Lawrence, it's really fascinating speaking to you, and thank you for the research and data that you've brought to the conversation as well. Good to have you on.